Welcome back to the channel. 217 Bassin with you today. Today we are going to talk about the Wacky Rig, the basics of the Wacky Rig and how to fish it. Alright, the Wacky Rig is great for summer, whether you're fishing down timber or grass. It's a bait that is a finesse bait. You're going to work it slowly, kind of keep it in that strike zone on a slow fall. So I got 4 different setups for the Wacky Rig that I'm going to talk about today. My 4 setups I'm going to talk about today are the Weedless Wacky, Weighted Wacky, Neko Rig, and the Double Ring Wacky. First is the Weedless Wacky. This is what I started using the Wacky Rig with, and I like it, but I started losing fish on this wire right here. Let me see if I can get this close up. I felt like this wire prohibited me from catching some fish. So if you're gonna fish in some nasty stuff, the Weedless Wacky is a slow way to get down and get some presentation, but I had some trouble with some hookups on it. So option 2 is the Weighted Wacky. So this hook has a little weed guard on it, a weighted wacky hook, and this is a Motley fishing stick bait, a nice little purple color. But I like this too because this is gonna just, it's a Wacky Rig, but it's gonna get you down there a little bit faster. Sometimes when you use an unweighted hook, it takes too long to get in the strike zone. So this is a weighted, and this is gonna get you down there, no nonsense, right off the bat. The Neko Rig is my next setup, but before I get into the Neko, I'm just gonna show you this real quick. This is just be a regular Wacky setup with a ring and this is a Finesse Gamakatsu hook that I'm using, size 1. That's what I've been using kind of with all my stuff. I like the size, gives you a good hookup ratio. Shout out Salmon Outdoors. He is not a fan of the ring on the bait, but some people say you'll get more out of your bait, it'll last longer. Some people say it's a better hookup ratio. Salmon Outdoors thinks it's a worse hookup ratio, so shout out him. But to make this a Neko Rig, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a small little nail weight. See if I can show you that. Take a small little nail weight here, and we're going to stick this in the head of my stick bait. And what this is going to do is this is going to put the weight at the very top of your worm, and it's going to cause it to fall down. We're going to flip this around, actually, this hook. So now this weight at the top is going to cause this worm to go down, but the hook is going to stay off the bottom. So the worm stays down, hook stays off, and just a different way, the Neko Rig. And then my last setup here is a double ring. So this is kind of a trick I use. I'll show it up close. It's hard to see because it's black ring. I like to keep that hook straight. So I want my Wacky Rig to fall down, and I want that hook to stay straight. So when the fish hits it, if it's hitting it in the middle, it's gonna get all hook. So that's a different way to rig your Wacky Rig with the rings, where it keeps your hook straight on that rig. I think it leads to better hookup ratio. But you also could do that without the rings, I suppose. Just hook it straight through the bait. So those are my 4, really 5 Wacky Rig setups. My setup I like to use for the Wacky Rig, finesse style, is you want to have a rod about 6'6" to 7 foot medium. I use a 7'1" medium fast St. Croix Bass X spinning rod. I have that paired with a Penn Battle 3000 spinning reel. And then my line I like to use is 6 to 10 pound, anywhere in that range. Right now I have on, I think, 8 pound fluorocarbon red label cigar. I like the fluorocarbon because of the no stretch and kind of the ability to hide it a little bit better in clear water. So what you're going to do with the Wacky Rig is you're just going to cast it out there and let it fall. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Don't be quick to flip your bail over, because that's going to bring that pendulum and bring it back to you. Just let it fall straight down from when it hits the water. Another tip is to make sure that you watch your line, because sometimes you're going to have slack in your line and you're not even going to feel the bite of the fish, but your line will start moving and that will tell you that you have a fish on. Alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something about the Wacky Rig. A couple different ways to modify it, how to throw it, a couple different options for you with the Wacky Rig. Thanks for tuning in. Check out some other 217 Bassin videos.